Good morning, retail traders. This is Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I love talking about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Those are my three ingredients to make a good trade. So we're going to go ahead and talk about a few stocks. I'm going to point out something that I pointed out before, and we're going to point it out again. Just kind of ease your mind a little bit. So this is my setup in the morning. I got my watch list, and I listen to Schwab. And then I've got my chart over here to the right. Now this is the SPY. So I'm going to show you a sequence here that could be profitable and could make you think a little bit. Like today, we're waiting for FOMC for Pow tomorrow. The market's pretty positive about an interest rate cut. They've always been like that. I mean, they don't know. They don't know. Excuse me. So this here is a weekly time frame of the SPY, and we bounced off the SPY when we have these little pullbacks. We had a pullback right here of 3 black crows to the 21. I was talking about this pullback when we had this one. We bounced a little bit off the 9, then we went ahead and continued on down to the 21. Now, being in the now, we got Kamala. She thinks she's going to be president. I think it'd be the biggest mistake this country ever had done. Ever. It already is. We're a mess in a way. If you support socialism and communism, and fascism, we're definitely in that market right now. Dictatorship, however you want to call it. So, being in the now, and it's an election year, I already called this pullback in a way in advance. I said, we're getting close to the election. I would be probably being a little bit more safer with my trades because I do expect a pullback, and we've had a pullback for the last two weeks. And as long as we hold the 9 EMA, we're at support right now, and we can start to bounce back up and double top. If not, I think we can come down and hit this 21 right around 530, 529 area. So if we start to dip below that 9 on the weekly, I'm going to be taking this and drawing it on down to the 21, and then that's where I'll take it and run it back up to the top. But I do expect a lot of volatility into the election. We had the assassination attempt on Trump. This is all new to me. I'm 63. This is the weirdest time in my life where I've seen politics and the private sector not get along too well. So that's a SPY. Now, Tesla got a big upgrade yesterday. Let's go ahead and look at the SPX. That's on the weekly. So we expect to hold the 9 EMA. If not, we'll drop to the 21 and then start to bounce back up. SPX. Clean this one up. I clean them up almost every day anymore. I used to leave them on, my lines and stuff, but I got to read them. See, same thing with the SPX. We're at the 9. We're having an inside candle. We have a tweezer bottom. So this thing can run back up to the top. And each one of these bodies will be a resistance level. If it doesn't hold the 9, this is the SPX, I'd short it to the 21 for sure. Because it's into the election year and it'll be another rigged election. IWM I traded yesterday. I got stuck in IWM. I scalped it once and then got stuck in it. And I got out of it with profit, barely. Now, we've had a big bounce, 3 white soldiers on IWM. So I do expect this thing to pull back to around 217. 217 for a solid support. I'm just taking the body of these candles here on the weekly, and that's my low support to hold. And then I'll change this to the daily. And it'll be the 9 will be my first support at 219.83. So if this thing dips on down, we had a double top up here of the bodies. So easy buy at the 9. It held the 9 pretty much. But this thing can drop. I mean, we're into this volatility time right now, so be very careful. Don't try to take too many chances. This market's way overbought. Tesla. Tesla had a big upgrade by, where is Tesla on here? Tesla had a huge upgrade yesterday from Morgan Stanley. So if we break the 9 on Morgan Stanley, we could probably move on up and hit each one of these 3 resistance levels back to 240, 238, 238, right there, 240. There's your little pivot point area in here. It could go a little bit higher, 240, 241, 242. I'd keep a good eye on Tesla. We got a breakout. We got a flag. This is on the daily. I can see us going to 240, breaking that 9, and maybe even going up to an overhead resistance. Right around 250 area. That'd be a good spot, right around 249. Tesla, I'm really fired up about. Now, CNBC, screw them goofballs. They're very biased and very political. CNBC, Squawk Box, 225, 226 will be a strong buy. Now, we're getting ready to break a gap right in here. And that's right at 232.25. So if we can gain respect above 232.25, I see it easily going to 240 and maybe back up into that 250 area, 248, 249, top of that overhead resistance. So that's it for now. There's a lot of good stocks out there right now. I think you just need to be a little bit more patient. Don't take as many trades. Have fun. I take a trade about every hour, every 2 hours, every hour and a half. I take a new trade. Average about 5 or 6 a day. I just take breaks. I go in here and I study. And I'm using the time of the day as an indicator when I should be more bullish or bearish. The first hour and a half is the most important hour. Then you got power hour. So my biggest success comes in the first part of the day, and I can have the rest of the day off. So be a little extra careful. Keep an eye on all them Magnificent Seven. They were bad-mouthing them last week, and they were all up now. I'm liking Apple. This is my watch list right here. Volume high. We got NVIDIA. I called NVIDIA out yesterday. We have that solid support right in here, right around 113. We're a little bit below it right now. I don't understand. I'm very bullish on NVIDIA. Very bullish. And we got AMD on here. AMD's had a real nice pullback. I'd be keeping a good eye on AMD. We have an inside. Last couple of days have been inside. Resistance to break, 145.53. I'd keep a real good eye on AMD. Now, I don't know, a lot of news about Bitcoin and Trump and the new administration. And they're definitely favor Trump to the upside. Trump says don't sell your Bitcoin. Jim Cramer says sell it, so make up your mind. TSM, we got Google on here. CrowdStrike also got spanked pretty bad. A little overdone, but it was also a little overbought. Everything was way overbought. Way overbought. Way. We got Meta is probably the only one I'm really positive about that I think we can probably score on. Then we got to break the 9 on Meta. These all pulled back to solid supports. Now we could hit the 200 and be a strong buy, but I'd put Meta on top of your watch list. SMCI I called out yesterday. We bounced off that 200 SMA. We had this long snake with an inverse head and shoulders, and we took it to the 200 SMA. These are still scalpable. This thing was at $1,000 just the other day. 963. And now we're down here to 698. These are pretty good little sell-offs, so we got to keep them online. We got to look for our resistance levels to break and then go on from there. Starbucks, another one. Disney's another one that's been beat up pretty bad. We got CCL on here. They were very bullish on this a couple weeks ago, and then we had the big solid pullback, so this could be a double, triple bottom on the 20-day 1 hour. I'd keep a good eye on CCL. We got Netflix at 626. Carvana, here's another good one that has a lot of good volatility. Here's a scalper trade here. I called this out yesterday. It's called the 1-2-3 setup, inverse head and shoulders. We had a nice little bounce to the 50 and up a little bit after hours. Pre-market, I mean. And we had M&M also with some good numbers, earnings. Now you do a 50% retracement on this and set your support. Just take and do your Fibonacci from your breakout point and set your alert right above that 50, right above the 63. This is MM off good earnings. And I'll type that in here. Off good earnings, so I got my alert set for this thing to pull back. In fact, I might bring it up to the 63, 62% pullback, and I'll get my attention at least. CMG, here's another one. I think this is way oversold. Now I'm long in this stock right here. I was up 40, $50 yesterday on this trade. This is the CMG calls, scalping the August 16th, 2024 strike, $51 at 122. So if this thing pulls back, probably your first support will be right here, right around 50, 51 to hold. If that doesn't hold, then we'll drop down to a triple bottom. Target right up in here, right around 53.75 or even higher than that. CMG, I mean, come on. This thing, they're bullish as could be on this. It's the best thing ever, and all of a sudden it has a split, and they don't like it no more. So that makes no sense to me. We've had a good pullback. This thing's ready. CMG. Chipotle, I can't stand the place. I really can't. UAL's on the 200 on the 1 hour. Now Boeing, I'm going to use the 200 SMA as a support level off the 1 hour time frame. So I'll set my alert right before we hit that 200. And that's it. I'm going to get on out of here. Be patient. We're going to have a lot of volatility into the election. I think it's the greatest opportunity right now, especially when you're in a market like this that is very bullish. You got to be very patient. That's all I can say is patience. Get serious that first hour and a half of the day, and then do your homework the rest. And look for good setups. That's the best advice I could give anybody. So this is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy, where I love to talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. We're into the election year. I expect a little bit more volatility, but I also expect some nice scalps. Nice scalps. And we'll catch you all later. Have a great day. Retail traders.